Excellent moment to every one of us. We say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It is another revolutionary concept of the global clusters. Today, we are on humanity evolution. We are saying instead of NSAS, instead of Ed bag governance, we are calling ourselves in the voice of the global president, Ambassador Dr. Adekunle Badmus, that come let's engage in humanity revolution, where we treat ourselves based on the fact that we are human, not because of color, tribe, race, or ethnic. We are saying, let's come do humanity evolution, where we treat ourselves with empathy, kindness, and the love that bind us together as a people. As our custom is, we welcome ourselves to the humanity evolution with the promo of the humanity evolution. Host, kindly share the video of humanity evolution. Thank you.
Imagine a world bathed in the soft glow of kindness. Picture a bustling marketplace in Marrakesh, where a vendor offers a warm smile and a kind word to a weary traveler. See a young girl in Tokyo offering her seat on the train to an elderly woman, their eyes meeting in a moment of shared humanity. In a small village in the Andes Mountains, neighbors gather to help a family rebuild after a storm, their shared laughter echoing through the valley. These are not isolated acts of charity. They are threads in a vibrant tapestry of compassion that is being woven across the globe. Each act of kindness, no matter how small, contributes to a larger movement, a revolution of the heart. This is the humanity revolution. The humanity revolution is not a political movement, nor is it defined by any one religion or ideology. It is a universal calling, an awakening to the interconnectedness of all beings. It is a recognition that we are all part of something larger than ourselves, and that our actions have a ripple effect on the world around us. This revolution is fueled by compassion, the ability to understand and share in the suffering of others. It is driven by empathy, the capacity to step into another person's shoes and see the world through their eyes. And it is sustained by respect, a deep appreciation for the inherent worth and dignity of every human being. The impact of compassion is not merely anecdotal, it is deeply rooted in our biology and woven into the fabric of our communities. Studies have shown that acts of kindness release oxytocin, a hormone that promotes feelings of trust, connection, and well-being. When we are kind to others, we are also kind to ourselves. There are countless examples of how compassion and empathy have transformed lives and communities. In Rwanda, survivors of the genocide have come together to rebuild their shattered nation, offering forgiveness and understanding in the face of unimaginable pain. In the aftermath of natural disasters, we see ordinary people performing extraordinary acts of courage and selflessness, putting the needs of others before their own. The humanity revolution is not a spectator sport. It requires each of us to step onto the playing field of life and engage in acts of compassion, empathy, and respect. It challenges us to move beyond our comfort zones, to reach out to those who are different from us, and to extend a hand of friendship to those in need. Start small, smile at a stranger, listen with an open heart, offer a helping hand. These simple acts of kindness may seem insignificant, but they are the building blocks of a more compassionate and just world. Visit theglobalclusters.org to connect with others who are answering the call to action. Together, let us create a world where humanity thrives.
Together, let us create a world where humanity thrive. Very great moments to every one of us. I agree, especially the global president, Ambassador Dr. Adekunle Badmus. A very big shout out to you, sir. Of course, we greet the 001 Humanity Evolution in person of Dr. Doris Yaro. We greet you, Ma. And we greet the 002 Humanity Revolution of the Global Clusters in person of Cluster and Dr. Chaplain James Messi Obatunbi, the president of World Humanitarian Organization for Peace and Equity, WOPE Nigeria chapter. We say thank you for all you do to contribute positively to the development and growth of humanity. And we greet everyone on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on X, and every other social handles of the global clusters. I am Cluster Oluwaseyi Odusagun, and I greet as many that are in the studio. A very warm welcome to you all. Yes, today we are going to be looking at an aspect of human endeavor that has to do with us. There are some things that we encourage in the global clusters since we are out at maintaining, and growing our own nation. It is important that we talk about everything that could help our nation to grow as a people. And since part of the core values of the global clusters is sustainability, and it's important we look at one aspect as which we can sustain our nation, and that was lead us to what we're going to be talking about today. And most of the time, we don't know that our actions as individual also contributes to the effect of what the environment gives to us. We used to emphasize is that taking care of our environment also is humanity. Talking about humanity and how we treat ourselves, it goes beyond human to human. It goes beyond the black, the white, it goes beyond the tribe, it goes beyond the languages. Most of the time is embedded, and it has to do with some things that are very, very vital that we don't pay attention to. And that is why we are calling ourselves today in the humanist revolution on caring for our environment for nation building. It's important that we look at this as humans. We should take cognizance and notice of everything that happens around us, because what we give to the environment give back to us. Whatever we do to the nature gives back to us. Developed countries that are enjoying environment, that have serene environment, cool environment, is as a result of what they actually imputed. So if you treat our environments right, we all are going to benefit from it as a people. That's why today we are going to be looking at caring for our environment for nation building. Now, humanity evolution emphasizes collective responsibility. It is our own responsibility to make our father's land great, to make our country great. It's our responsibility. It depends on us. It depends, and it involves everybody, working, everybody adding their own quota, for the betterment. One person, there's a saying that a tree can never make a forest. So this humanist evolution is talking about everybody coming together, one person at a time, to add their own effort also for the betterment of the nation. That's why we say that humanity evolution emphasizes collective responsibility, and caring for the environment is an act of love for humanity, because what we do to the environment, for example, um, when you travel and you have your, maybe you eat some sausage, or you have some waste as a result of what you use in your vehicle, and instead of you to keep it, in the vehicle and dispose it properly, you throw it, on the road, believing that some people are there to clear it. But sometimes what you are doing might cause harm to some people that you are not even aware of. So you have disrupted humanity in that aspect. So caring for environment is an act of love for humanity. And sustainable environments build stronger nations. This is very important for us to understand that the world, is evolving, and everybody, there's clamor about climate change, there's clamor about climate action, there's clamor about our actions, to what we do to the environment and its effect on the environment on us also. So sustainable environments build stronger nations. So why do we have to talk about the environment and humanity today? The environment provides food, water, and clean air. Everywhere we are right now, we talk about the environment. The environment comprises of everything and anything and every material around you at this particular time. If you are in your room, that is your environment. When you move outside, that is your environment. You understand? When you move to another location, that is your environment. And in that environment, it is very sure that you find food, you find water, and you find clean air. Those are the things that's why we see that the environment, we need to talk about it today in the humanity evolution. Of course, the environment supports our health and well-being, and it enables economic growth through resources. All our resources are gotten from the environment. The crude oil, the iron ore, the gold, all our resources, they are in the environment. That's why the environment is very, very, very important to us as a people. And of course, the environment ensures survival of future generations. Now we see the reason we have to talk about the environment, taking care of it in today's humanity evolution. Now, what are some environmental challenges that we have today? There are some environmental challenges we have today that we need to look at, that we are not really minding, and we need to educate ourselves about this. And it's important that we let everyone viewing all over the world to take notice. Yes, some countries are taking this into consideration, and it is important that we emphasize this in our own vicinity, in our own community, because this is our nation, this is our land, and we want to keep it safe for us and for our generations coming. So, what are those challenges that have been observed? Environmental challenges today. One of them is deforestation and loss of biodiversity. When we talk about deforestation, I'm talking about indiscriminate felling of trees. You just see people cutting down trees, in close to where people are residing, residential areas, you know, and that has made a lot of uh, beautiful creatures to be lost. There are some beautiful creatures that are even endangered right now as a result of that. Even for the fact that these forests, these trees, they serve as even habitats for some creatures. They are part of us. Humanity evolution is not just about human beings alone. The environment, the animals, everything, every living thing is part of the humanity. We need to know that, and we have to take care of them. And these are one of the problems that we are facing today. Felling of trees. It's one of the challenges we are facing. Then pollution is another issue that we are facing. Pollution of the air, of the water, of the soil, from our toxic gases, from vehicles, from oil spillage. You know, it's a factor that affects the water and the soil. Another environmental challenge today is climate change and rising in temperatures. That have its bigger effect also. I'll talk about climate change. That's the overall sudden, uprising in the temperature of the earth, as a result of excessive greenhouse gases that are existing around us, in the environment. And because we have removed all the trees that are supposed to take these toxic gases, they have to add up to the greenhouse gases that are existing already, and increasing the the temperature, as a result of the ozone layer depletion. And this have its own great effects. When the temperature is high, the sea level will high, because the ice cap, in the Arctic and the Antarctic, they have to melt. We have so many ice being melted and adding up to the water bodies. And when there's rain, because there's going to be a lot of um, evaporation, because as a result of high in temperature. And if you have high evaporation, you're going to be having high rainfall, and that's adding up to the ice that have melted. You have flooding. That's happening all over the world. It's happening all over. Some people, the reason we have to talk about is some humans, just some few humans are benefiting. They will cause the problem, and there are some people that it will affect. That's why we need to talk about this in our humanity evolution. Another environmental challenge we are having is waste mismanagement and plastic pollution. The use of our plastic bags and the likes. We need to learn. We need to learn how to manage our waste properly. Some people, they are fond of turning the drainage, known as gutter, turning the drainage into a waste bin. It's a no. It's not right. It's not right at all. The drainage is meant for water, for liquid, not for solid, not for plastic. Some people throw plastic and everything. Even some people burn they burn their wastes, in the environment. This pollutes the air. This pollutes the air. And plastic, when plastics are being dumped in the drainages, they block the pathway for water to move, and that causes flooding. You can see that all these our acts that we are doing unknowingly, they are bigger issues. So we are affecting humanity in that aspect, and that is why we need to talk about this and let everybody know the effects of all these our actions, on the other human being. Most of the time, the people that did these things, they are not even affected sometimes, but later on it comes back to them, because it could affect their businesses and the likes. So it's very important that we talk about this in our humanity evolution. Now, we have talked about this problem. How can we care for the environment? How can we care for the environment now? Caring for the environment now, because this is our actually the points that we want to talk about. So, how can we care for our environment? Number one, we reduce, we reuse, and we recycle. We reduce, we reuse, and we recycle. These aspects, let me take plastic, for example. There are some beverages or drinks in plastic bottles, that we just drink, and we dispose them on the road, or in our drainages and the likes. So we can actually reduce how we use plastic. There are some countries that are doing this 100%. There are some countries, developed countries, that have reduced their use of plastic. Because when you use plastic and you dump them maybe in the ocean or the water body, it takes a lot of time, a lot of maybe 100 years before plastic will decay. And imagine the habitation in the water bodies taking in plastic. It's gonna destroy them. So we can reduce how we use plastic. One, we can actually reuse one plastic, of water bottle. We can reuse, instead of repeating. We can reuse them. You understand? And there are some that we can actually recycle. Where recycle, that means we turn that used material into something else. You understand? Plastic can be turned to textile. There's so many. There's so many. You understand? In fact, even there are some plastics. that can even be turned into flour, flour jar, flour pot, things like that. They can even be used as nurseries, to plants. So we can reuse, we can recycle. That's how we can care for the environment. Number two, we should plant trees. That's known as afforestation also. Plant trees and protect forests. It's very, very important. When you plant, why is planting trees very important? And some of us, we used to see the governments coming around Operation Plant a Tree and all that. Some of us don't even know the purpose, the reason. The trees, the way the trees are being made, they are made to absorb, they take in the toxic gases, the carbon dioxide, the carbon monoxide, all those gases that are bad to us, you know, all those gases from from our generator, vehicles, the smoke, all the smoke generally, the trees, that's what they eat. That's our own food. And at the end of the day, the trees will now give us, oxygen, clean air. That's why we are being encouraged to plant trees and protect forests. So we should stop, we should discourage people just falling trees. Before you fall any tree, make sure you are planting another one. That's afforestation. You understand? It's very, very important. The opposite of deforestation is afforestation. So you plant trees. So when you encourage people to plant trees, you're going to have an environment whereby we have clean air, because these trees are going to be absorbing those toxic gases in our environment. Another way we can care for the environment is the use of clean energy sources. Use of clean energy sources. This is not new to us, as many of us that are consistent in the global clusters. In the global clusters now, we have the opportunity to collaborate and to work with Remedy Aids. They've come with great projects whereby we can generate electricity, power, from water, steam, distilled water, very clean. You understand? Yes, we have the wind, we have the solar and the lights, they are clean likewise. But this opportunity brought to us by Remedy Aids, it's a great opportunity that can light up anywhere at very low cost, very, very low cost, and it's clean, very clean. So the global clusters, we are on track, with sustainability for the earth and caring for the earth, and that's why we are here so that we can collaborate and propagate and advocate for the clean energy to the world. So use of clean energy sources are one of the reasons we are ways that we can care for the environment. Another way we can care for the environment is proper waste disposal. Proper waste disposal, like we mentioned, when you're in the vehicle, drop all your waste in the vehicle. The vehicle owner will handle it. You understand? Even some vehicles you have the waste bin. Even there was a time that while I was growing, the road safety officials made it mandatory. They're gonna ask for your waste basket, in your vehicle in those days. I believe it's still functioning also. So every vehicle also, either commercial or personal, should have a waste bin. Even if they don't have the basket, there are some portion in the vehicle that are meant for the waste so you all keep it there. When you get to a proper place to dispose your waste, you do that, not on the road. The road is not your waste bin, the drainage is not your waste bin. It's very important. And there are some states also that have parastatals that handle their waste properly. So like in Lagos, I know of Loma, you know, Lagos Waste Management Agency. I know of that. So it's very important that we continue to um, to have the habits, cultivate the habits of properly disposing our waste. It will make our environment look neat. To make our, because whatever we do to our environment come back to us. Very, very important. Another way we can protect and clean and care for the environment is protect water sources. What are our water sources? We are talking about the rivers, the stream, the ocean, the spring, the borehole, and the lights. We protect them against oil spillage, against vandalization. It's very, very important. Check the pipes, make sure that the pipes are fixed and they're in good condition. All these are the way we can protect the water, especially in the area of oil spillage, areas that are prone to crude oil extraction, or mining. We should make sure that the water sources there are so neat because they are the source of life to people around there. All right. So how is this linking? How is this caring for the environment? How does it link with nation building? It's very important because whatever we do in the global clusters, we are doing it for nation building. We are doing it to make sure that we enlighten our people and for our people to know that, yes, we can do it. We can sustain ourselves. We can make things happen. We can solve situations even by ourselves. So linking the care, caring for environments and linking it to nation building. Why do I have to do that? Healthy citizen, one of it is healthy citizens through clean environments. When we have a clean environment, we're going to have citizens that are healthy. And if you are not spending, if you are healthy, we all believe, the whole world have attested to that health is actually wealth. When you are healthy, you can actually go out there and achieve more and do more. You understand? And do great things. The great things to be explored, you need health. You need a good health. But if you're living in an environment that is not neat, that is corrupted, you know, how are you going to be healthy? An environment that is not neat, is prone to sicknesses, especially some sicknesses that are contagious, like cholera, like the likes. Is that, all those things can spread. And that's why it's very important that we make our environments very, very, very clean. Another linking of caring for the environment and nation building is more jobs from green industries. More jobs from green industries, like what we just mentioned, the earth, the remedy earth industry that have joined the global clusters. Now, they are ready to support everyone that want to go into this, take this project to anywhere. It's a great project, that you can earn a lot from, and find your prospects, give them the idea, they buy it from you and make something for yourself. So we have a lot of people making a lot, there are a lot of money, to be made, even in this green industry. Number three, why we are linking caring for the environment to nation building is reduce conflicts over resources. Imagine that we take care of our environment properly, there'll be lots to utilize. There won't be mismanagement because we are taking care of our environment, because we are not misusing something, we are not overusing something, we are not focusing only on one thing. You understand? So it will reduce fight over resources or the like, because we are going to be having a lot of opportunities, since we are not taking everything from the environment. We are preserving and we are conserving a lot. Since we have several ways and several opportunities by which we can get something from the environment. Another reason we should care is that pride in national identity through sustainable processes. You know, taking care of our environment, looking neat, being good. You know, anybody who come, foreigners will see us as people that are neat. They'll see us as people that places we are, we have the aesthetic value, and that's very, very important to us as a people. That these people, they take care of themselves, they take care of the environment, they see us as people that they can relate with because we take care of ourselves as the people and we take care of our environment also. Very, very important. So now that we have learned this, what are the things that we can do, practical actions that we can do as a people starting from today? We have learned something now. So how can we go ahead to practicalize it to make it work? One of it is we can organize community cleanups. As we are talking right now, there are some drainages that are blocked as a result of mismanagement of waste. We can actually go out there, organize the people around there, the youths around there. Oh, let's clear this drainage because there might be rain, and the drainage is not meant for waste, it's for liquid, not for solid materials. You clear that, you are doing your own parts, adding value, to the to humanity and to the environment. Another way that we can act, is educate citizens on eco-friendly living. You educate, you have learned this right now. You can actually go ahead and train others, inform others. Education is information, you know, inform others about what you have learned. You can even share this life with them. You can share this meeting with them, share it with them, let them learn what you are learning also as a person here. So you educate them on eco-friendly, things that they can do to make the environment, safe and the environment's needs. You maybe someone wants to dispose their waste in. Now you tell them, I don't do that, because of this reason. Maybe someone want to burn their waste, instead of disposing from, oh, don't burn. Some people don't know actually. Some people are actually ignorant of this, so they don't know. So you can educate them also. Another action that we can take is encourage eco entrepreneurship. Like we have in the global clusters, we have the remedy X is here with us, for us to collaborate, and work with it. This kind of projects and visions that could help sustain the environments. We can push for it, and we are gonna be good, good for that. Another action is collaborate with schools, NGOs, and leaders. You know, we go to schools, to educate them, to enlighten them, our educators, our teachers, we do that. Even the parents, the non-governmental organizations can go to the market, and go, everywhere you find opportunity, you enlighten people about caring for the environment, their actions on the environment, and now we come back to us. And of course, we engage our leaders you engage our leaders also about how these things can be done, and they can have community town hall meetings, educating the populace and the citizens on the right way, of fixing and doing things in the environment. Then, what's of our role? Role of youth in environmental care. The youth, since we know that the youth are like the powerhouse of every nation, ranging from the age of 17, from 17 years old to at least 40 years old. We have so young of them in Nigeria, and we are so powerful. We are so powerful and energetic and enthusiastic. So we can use that energy we have to go into some of these things, and we can make them work as a people. So some of the role of youth in environmental care is one, innovators in green technology. The youths can be an innovator in advocates of green technology, like what we have in uh, in the global clusters through the remedy aids, informing some of us, we have been informing some of the organizations that we know that there's something that's huge, that's big, that can actually take care of the problem of electricity and without any issue of smoke or it really helps. When we advocate this, let people know that there's something around and that it's working. So we as youths could be innovators and advocates in green technology. And number two, as youths, we can be advocates for climate action. Some of our people, they are not aware, of the effects of what they are doing, to the environment. We should encourage them about proper waste disposal, burning of burning of bushes, burning of materials, using of fossil fuel, all those things. you know, the government is doing its own part. We could also do our own part to continue to enlighten people. Well, since the government have ruled us, some of them were aware of it. We can encourage others also on the importance of our actions, on the climate and how it's coming back to us. Also, some of the things that our role as youth in environmental care is leaders of grassroots environmental movement. As we go to propagate and enlighten people, we let them know that okay, uh, this is what is happening. We can choose youth leaders among us, to encourage everyone, in the community, in the grassroots, that we need to take care of our environment. Most of the things that is going wrong in the environment is as a result of what we are doing. So when we go out there and emphasize this and evangelize this and advocate this, in our grassroots, in our communities, in our villages, it will go a long way, to create awareness for people to know about what is going on. Also, our role also as youths, we can be voices of accountability to policy makers. There are so many laws that we put into place, even with the Constitution of Nigeria, about climate action. Climate change is not something new to as many of us that are informed. So we should continue to hear these voices. We should continue uh, to inform our leaders, like kind of updates, updates about what is happening. The lawmakers, it's already in the law. It's part of why we are having carbon taxes and the likes. We should follow up with that with the lawmakers and the policymakers and how all these things can be affected with the populace as a youth. These are the things that we should engage in, not just activities that are not profitable. These are real job, real tasks that they gonna have great effect positively, even to us as a people, instead of engaging in the protests and the arrests that won't yield anything to us as a people. All right. So, what are the challenges that we have in environmental care? Some of the challenges that we have today in environmental care is lack of awareness, like we mentioned. Some people doesn't even know that their action is bad. Some people don't know that, um, the exposing your waste in the drainage. They feel like it's the drainage that the rain will move it away, but they are not seeing the aftermath that there's a point, at the drainage that is even blocked, you know, it's blocked. And that's where we have like there's a barricade, it could be like an iron, and when water is moving all these things, it gets to a place, gets stopped, and it can't even move. It can't move, and that will make the drainages to be, when the water is much there, it's gonna overflow and back to the environment and flood everywhere. So some people are not aware of what is happening. That's why we need to take that into action to enlighten people. So lack of awareness is one of the challenges, and two, weak enforcement of policies. weak enforcement of policy. We have, although we have some states, of course, we have some countries that are kicking against this, like the kick against indiscipline. They are out there watching uh, the government policy, monitoring that is being adhered to, proper waste disposal. Some states in Nigeria are doing that. And of course, I'm very sure that federal government also have uh, people in place, officials in place to monitor that. And we should do more on that. Should do more on that. And when as we are doing that, we are actually creating awareness, for those that don't know that this is what you need to do. And another challenge, which is very, very paramount, especially in the developing countries, is over dependence on fossil fuels. Over dependence on fossil fuel like petroleum. It's very important that we reduce that. That's why the governments of so many countries that are developing and they want to fight that. That's why we have we have the carbon taxes, we have the subsidy removal from some products, that could cause harm to the environment, and there even are some products that are very, very cheap right now. The compressed natural gas is being used by vehicles and it's kind of very, very cheap. With 5,000 naira compressed natural gas, see, you can be safe. You can even use it for 2 days, depending on your movement. But it's still very, very, very safer, and clean, because it's a clean energy than the petroleum, and it's very cheap. So when we reduce our dependence on fossil fuel, it's help our environment to be clean, because these products are actually affecting, they are releasing these toxic gases, and it's really affecting even us. There was a time there was serious dependence on kerosene, but kerosene produce heavy toxic gases, and that's why it's so expensive. Compare kerosene, those of us that used to use stove then, compare with the cooking gas. The cooking gas is kind of neat. There's no smoke and the lights. That's why the price is differs. So we should, now, countries, states, and everyone, we can actually reduce our dependence on fossil fuel. That's why the remedy aids of the global clusters also is here to help support this clean energy. Is from water. Water is always needs now. So, and the products will definitely be needs also. So, we should reduce the dependency on fossil fuel. All right, and another challenge that we have is limited resources for eco projects. Sometimes like uh, establishing the remedy aids projects, could be we have uh, could be capital intensive, to establish on its own, but there are several opportunities that can be engaged in to make it very easy. The remedy aids has made it easy for everyone, to engage in it. Yeah, the project is so large, but with collaboration, it can be reduced, and having it established, we can use it for 25 years and pay over 25 years. It's something that I think is very, very okay that we can actually engage in for cleaner environment. All right, and some of the solutions and way forward, whereby we can go forward for to have a cleaner, environment through our actions, is one, strengthening environmental laws and enforcement. We should strengthen environmental laws and enforcement. Let's the people that don't know, our people, when you inform them about something and you have to give them a reprimand, they will get the message, that there's a law against this, there's a law against this, there's a law against bush burning, there's a law against tree felling, there's a law, when people are aware of that and there's there's officials monitoring the implementation. I think we are all going to be on the same page. So that's very, very important. Then number two solution is invest in renewable energy. Like we're mentioning, the investments on renewable energy, like what we have in the global clusters, the remedy at still the still water to electricity to power, is a great opportunity to have clean, efficient power sources, that could serve, and it's so low, very, very cost effective. It's not gonna take a lot from you, and in fact, the establishment, the structure, everything is so moderate that it's gonna serve you well. That's one of the solutions we have here in the global clusters. They promote eco literacy in schools, promotes eco literacy in schools, encouraging our younger generation about the effects of what you do into the environment. You understand? Whatever you give back to the environment, what you give into the environment give back to you. It's important that we always enlighten our younger generation about their effect on the environment and its effects, coming back to us as humans. Also, we can support partnership for sustainable development. Like what we have every time in the global clusters, we are always looking forward to that ideology, that project, that act that will make us have a sustained nation for our generation, not just the present. So that's why we, whatever that is good, coming in, the global president, Ambassador Dr. Adekuni Badmus, we always go out there, bring all these ideas, partnering with the right thinking people, bringing them into the cluster for nation building, for growth, for sustainability, for the benefits of all. So that's why when the remedy acts, when they hear about the project of the global clusters, they join, they saw that, oh, this is a community that wants growth, this is a community that wants that is in line with the vision of what they do, and we are partnering with Remedy 8, to light up the whole world, light up Nigeria, light up the whole Africa, light up the world in a cost-effective manner. So as we conclude, we are calling ourselves to action that every citizen must take responsibility, you know, protect nature in daily habits. The nature comprises of your water, your air, the land, the trees, the animals, all these things, we should protect them. You know, it's very, very important we put this into consideration as a people, as a nation. So important. It is our responsibility to take care of our environment, not the government that will come to the environment to fix it for us. We can do that as a people. That's what we can do to add to add our own quota even into the environment and wherever we find ourselves. It's very, very important that we do that. Also, we should support initiatives that preserve the environment. Whatever that is being done, to preserve the environment, to meet the environment's needs, we should support it. We shouldn't join people to destroy the environment. We should not be the ones, that will dispose our own waste irrationally. We shouldn't be that kind of person because we are more enlightened right now. Because we should remember that caring for the environment is caring for humanity. And we have all pledged our allegiance that we are caring for humanity. And as we are doing that, we are also helping others. Because when you input bad, into the environment, it's not gonna just affect you alone, it's gonna affect others. When you dispose your waste indiscriminately, irrationally, it's gonna affect others. You know, um when you burn bushes, burn your materials that you are not using, it's better you give. You can give people stuff. It's better you give than just burning things. It's better that you maintain your environment. So when you care for your environment, it is an act of love for humanity. And if you don't care for your environment, that means you don't love your humanity, because the humanity that we are talking about is comprised of everyone, both the human being, both the air, the water, the land, the animals, the forests, everyone, everything in on earth, is part of humanity that we should take care of, not just the human nature alone. Thank you so very much. Before we conclude, it is very important that we hear submission as we are closing from those on the call today. I can see you, Madam Adejoke Adeleke. Thanks for showing up. I can see you, my brother and friend, Mr. Cluster Fares, the diction guru. And I see you, the O1 nurse, Dr. Mary Odedara. I can see you. Welcome, ma. Yes, my brother and friend, Cluster Fares, what's to take on today's humanity revolution today for our environment?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Shay. I quite appreciate. Um, you have really opened up solid points that we cannot overemphasize. I mean, that we can't push aside. So it's very very key that we take care of our environment, because if the environment is not well taken care of, um, if you're in a place that everywhere is messed up, there is sewage or there is refuse, that kind of environment is already polluted. There's no way anyone in that kind of environment can think well, because of course that kind of dirty environment will give room for all manner of maybe flies and all these different organisms that
Yeah,
can be very very harmful to man. So social equity and community empowerment, this one talks about environmental initiatives like clean energy, protects, or reforestation. Deforestation is the I remember during secondary school days, we were taught deforestation, felling of trees. Not as if, it's not as
yeah,
if people are planning to planting another one. You fell one, you plant another one, or you plant two or three. No,
yeah,
just doing that will not is not helping, doesn't help, because it will come to a time we will no longer have all these things when we need them when we need them. So reforestation, all this often involve local communities fostering inclusivity and empowerment. So this helps us to have access to clean environment. It reduces social disparities, builds trust in governance, and strengthens national unity. So it is very, very important that our environment is well taken care of. There's this popular saying, "Health is wealth." So the
yeah.
wealth there is not first about money. It's not money. It's a health is wealth. Before anybody can say health is wealth, you need to have
Well, I guess it's a network. Oh, one else, man, Dr. Mary Odedare, we recognize you, your presence. Uh, we can see that you are busy. Um,
Seriously busy, my brother.
yeah, thank you.
Seriously busy. We are preparing for resumption again. It's
Definitely,
only
same
God
here.
that will save us and deliver
Same
us.
here. Same here.
We walk like a clock. May God deliver us.
Thank
Good
you, man.
evening, Cluster Asheyi.
Yes, man.
Good evening, all great clusteria in the house.
Yes, man.
Our president, ambassadors Adekule Badmos. Thank you wherever you are. His
Thank you.
wife, Chief Mrs. Badmos, I salute you. All other individuals there, I doff my cap. Oh, good
Thank
evening.
you.
I
Yes,
just
ma'am.
came in. I felt I
All
should
right.
just come. Thank God I met you where you were talking about environment. I want to believe that is the topic of today.
Caring
We
for
are talking
environment.
about environment and
Yeah,
the
caring for.
usefulness of environment to humanity, to human being.
Yeah,
Just like Clostridian Fares said, such a discussion cannot be overemphasized.
yeah,
But I just want people here to take note of something. In the ecosystem where we live, so many things make the ecosystem viable. The trees and every other thing you can still talk about. We are all living together to complement each other. In the science, with the little knowledge I know, self, the oxygen we breathe in, okay, I was made to know that what we breathe out is being taken by those trees. Am I right? You're a geographer now. Cluster
yes,
Oluseyi.
yes,
Am
yes,
I right?
100%. Yes, you're right, man.
Okay,
Go
so
on, man.
there's no way by which you not deal with that aspect. So that is one thing we should take note of. With all those trees around us, even as we are felling them, they still need to be replanting them. They are very, very important. We need them. And there's one thing I've discovered about us. Neatness or cleanliness, they say, is next to godness. Some of us that are craving of going to abroad, also crazy about going to abroad. When you get there, you say they are neat, they are that. But coming back here, you are dirty. Over there, can you just litter the floor? Can you just litter the environment anyhow? At every strategic places, they have trash bin where you drop whatever. If you do otherwise, they look at you as animal. But here is something else we do. Let's cultivate same habit, please. Our environment also can be made clean. We can be clean. Our society, our streets can be made clean. Cultivate the habit. Some of us, when we are going in the bus, you see, with all you are hitting, you'll be throwing across from the window of the bus, taking you, throwing. That is negating the law of environment and law of cleanliness. What stops you from keeping that in your pocket or your handbag or whatever you are carrying till when you get to where you are going? Instead of littering the environment, these are some of the habits we are emitting, we are displaying, which of course is creating problem for us here. So please, my dear people over there, let it start from you. Let it start from me. Be neat, be clean. Make wherever you are clean. It helps humanity. It helps human existence. And I tell you, it even increase the span of life. If you are neat, your span of life will be increased. That we have known. Thank you. There's no more time. 6:03. Bless you.
Thank you so very much. Really appreciate your knowledge sharing. We appreciate your vision and your enlightenment. Thank you so much. I appreciate people like you always coming for us to add value. And we are sure that the generation and posterity will definitely speak of your ingenuity and your effort and your experience here. Thank you so very much, Ma. Yes, our time is fast spent. It's important that we say, who are we? We are the community of professionals or upcoming professionals. We are the community of technocrats or upcoming technocrats. We are the community of entrepreneurs or upcoming entrepreneurs, where we share accurate knowledge of our industry because we believe that the right knowledge gives you the right power. Where you share accurate information because the information that you have is like a bridge for you to move from where you are to where you ought to be. Where we share accurate connection because we believe that to whom we are connected to determine what you collect. We are not just a social media platform with the marketplace with an instant monetization. We are the first nation building platform on earth. Proudly Nigeria, proudly Africa to the world. It has all the languages of the world there, and good news to us that we're having a very free version of the global clusters coming, launching very, very soon. That everyone can come in and be part of this nation building project and movement that we are following across the nation. Thank you so very much. You can check us out on www.theglobalclusters.org, or you go to the Play Store and download the app of the Global Clusters. A very big shout out to the 001 Humanity Evolution in person of Dr. Yaro Doris, and the OO2 Humanity Evolution in person of Chaplain Dr. James Obatsumibi. Thank you so very much. I am Oluwaseyi Odusagun. Tomorrow is Wednesday, and tomorrow we're going to be having our Genuine Love Revolution. We employ you to join us as we move together in love to have a better nation, Nigeria. Thank you so very much. I'm Kosi Oluwaseyi. Bye for now. Thank you.